about, as you can see in these handouts, is what is called biogas. So this attempt to generate energy from this waste stream. Now, this is a little bit of relevant history because this is actually not a new attempt. In 2007, when which was actually right around the time that the state was beginning to look into some of the available alternatives, they actually invested taxpayer dollars in finding a better way to manage swine waste. They also, though, at the same time, as part of the Renewable Energy and Efficiency Portfolio Standard, which was an attempt to wean the state off of fossil fuels. Well, when they were trying to get that law passed, and I know y'all have had at Cape Fear River Watch successful long-term fights involving Duke and coal ash, right? Well, so you know how powerful a political entity that is. And I was just talking to you about how powerful big ag can be. So advocates at this time in 2007, they said, well, we're not going to try to pick a fight with both of them. And what they said is, well, it's really important that we get off of fossil fuels, and in order to keep the ag folks from submarining that effort, the ultimate sort of deal was struck so that as part of moving away from fossil fuels, the law actually requires some generation of energy from swine waste and from poultry waste. Now, the other thing that I want to flag is there is a better way to manage this waste. And there was something called the Smithfield Agreement that was entered into by then Attorney General Mike Easley in 2000, and various integrators, including the most dominant in the state, Smithfield. And among the components of that agreement was a commitment to install technology that met those 5 performance criteria that I mentioned earlier, as long as it was deemed economically feasible. Multiple technologies were developed and demonstrated to meet those 5 criteria. The hang-up has always been economic feasibility ever since. But they haven't even looked under the hood since 2009 about economic feasibility. And you may have seen a whole lot of changes have occurred in the market and some of the tax and revenue generation potential for biogas, such that it's our argument that it is now economically feasible to install that superior waste management technology. The key there is that agreement was not between the industry and my organization or Cape Fear River Watch. It was with the Attorney General. So one of the things we're pushing is for the Attorney General to initiate a review of this economic feasibility. However, that's not what I'm talking about today. That's not the decision that we're here to talk about. The decision I want to make sure that you're aware of is the decision about how to regulate biogas operations. And that's going to be in the form of a general permit that DEQ is going to issue. The Farm Act of 2021 obligates the agency to issue a general permit by the end of June of this year. So really, our fight is about the terms of that permit, how protective they are, not whether or not it issues, not whether or not biogas can be produced, because the law has basically said it's going to happen. The question is how. So, and part of why we're here is because a few years ago, one of the dominant ag producers, Smithfield, and one of the biggest energy producers, Dominion, formed a joint venture to pursue biogas technology. Now, what is biogas?